In this video, I am going to talk about my screen recording. What I usually do is I record through OBS and I sometimes like to use Bandicam. Bandicam is a non-technical software. Every setting is straightforward in this program. You can use single, dual, or triple monitor with no extra effort or technical setup that you have to do with OBS. So when you open Bandicam, you can use a recording area, or you can use a rectangular screen, full screen, how many displays you want to be record, like one, two, or the third display. And what I like is this around mouse feature. So what this does, if I, click on this around mouse and click on this full screen. So what it does is, when I hover the mouse over to those screen, it can switch the screens automatically. Let me just cancel the OBS recording. Everything works really smoothly and well, and we don't have to do any setup or any technical, like install any technical plugins or anything else. So this is why I like Bandicam. Bandicam works out of the box. It's just real easy, and you can record the any sort of game that you want to be capturing. And just settings are fairly straightforward. You can use the like show your mouse cursor and then go to the settings and set up the quality up to 100%. And by the way, I am using the CPU codec version, not the GPU version, because I do not want to be straining up my GPU, because I do not have a high-end graphics GPU, but I do have a high-end CPU. So that's why I want to be, putting up the CPU load, and I am using the MP4 H.264, and the frame rate you can set it up to like 30 or 60. For the recordings that I do, I set up the frame rate to 60 fps. That is my normal frame rate, because the more frame rate you have, the greater the video's quality is going to be. And if I want to slow the video, I can do that as well. Bandicam is fairly straightforward. And by the way, I am using Voicemeeter to route my voice through this software. You can see because I have this microphone, which is BM800, which is not that great. So that's why I need this program to, like put up a layer of audio filters onto my voice, so that this thing can process the voice correctly. And then the voice meter output is like uh, if I move to go to the control panel and move to the sounds, the recording, you can see that my main microphone is this BM800. I rename it, it is Realtek audio input, and I renamed it. And you can see that the default output device is the voice meter. And when we set up the OBS, I will tell you how to set this up. And you can set this up as a output for your speakers as well, but I do not like that. And I usually, because I have a lot of output devices, I have my speakers, I have my headphones, so that's why I like to keep it simple, and just click on the speakers or the headphone speakers or any device that I have from this list. So I am back in OBS, and I am now recording from this OBS as well. I'm going to delete these scenes because I already have configured the scenes, and I am going to the advanced scene switcher and I am going to start the plugin. So whenever I switch to my triple monitors, you can see that everything is working. So hopefully you like this video. If you did like this video, you can hit the thumbs up and share this video as well. Like subscribe to my channel so I can keep the videos up and coming. And this time I started recording from the Bandicam. You can see that if I switch my screens through Bandicam, so now I am going to be setting up the OBS, and I started recording from the Bandicam so you can see how to set up the OBS. So first things first, you need to have this plugin, which is Advanced Scene Switcher. I am going to stop this and show you how to find it. So when you search Google, you need to search for the Advanced Scene Switcher, and you need to download this plugin and install it. The installation process is fairly simple. Once it is installed, it is going to came up in this menu, tools menu, under advanced scene switcher, and when you click up this screen, this window pops up. And what we need this plugin for is like when we do screen switching between 1, 2 and third monitor, this thing is going to do that. The other thing that you are going to be needing is the coordinates, and the coordinates, I like to get them from Bandicam, because these are the coordinates that I have put up over to this scene switcher region tab. And the coordinates, how you get them is like it depends on your monitor. Like I have triple monitors, and the third monitor resolution is quite different, you can see now. And this one is 1920 by 1080, and this one is 1920 by 1080. You can see that when I hover over the mouse to the screen, you can see the coordinates have changed, like minus 1920, 00 and 1080, which I have put over here onto my first display, and then the second display is like 00, 1920 and 1080, which I have put over here 00, 1920 by 1080, and I have put the like switch to the monitor 2, monitor 1, and then I have put the third coordinates, which is my fourth screen, and its resolution is 2560 by 1080. You can see that resolution is different. So the coordinates that Bandicam gave me was minus 1920, 0, 4480 and 1080. So I am using the cut sequence, like cut to that, cut to that. So that's why I like Bandicam, because Bandicam is you don't have to do any technical setup. You just install it, and it's ready to go. You can record your full screen, single screen, dual screen and triple screen, or no matter how many screens you have, you can just record it, and you can just quickly set up these settings and just record. Bandicam is fairly straightforward, and OBS is like you have to do these settings. But both the softwares have pros and cons, because Bandicam costs you money and OBS is free. And OBS, like the plugins in the OBS, they are all free as well. When you like put the coordinates in here, what I usually do is I overlay my webcam device on just this monitor and not the middle one. And sorry, I haven't been recording with the OBS. I was recording with Bandicam. So what I usually do is I webcam device on this monitor and not on this monitor and not on on this monitor as well. So let me just quickly run through how to set it up. I'm going to click on this scene 2, scene 3 and scene 4 for this demonstration purpose, and I am going to use this display capture and display capture like this monitor first and display capture, and click on this monitor second and display capture, click on this monitor and select my third monitor and click on OK. Now you can see that why I am using OBS, because I have the third monitor which is like 2560, and that is an odd resolution. When I click on around mouse in Bandicam, the issue that I was having, it just stretches it to 1920 by 1080. So I was looking for a solution for this matter. So that's why I usually like to record with OBS as well. The next thing that I would do is click on add and then click on the video capture device and just click on it and select my webcam, which is this. So now I just click on the device and click copy, and then just select on the screen that I want to be pasting it, and just paste it as a reference so that I can whenever I click on the scene, I can see the particular display capture for the webcam on that particular monitor, and like skip on this monitor. And this functionality, if I am using the Bandicam, I cannot do this process as well. So the next thing would be to configure the sound. I usually like to keep my desktop audio at 30%, because if something like pops up, like Windows usually do twing twing and messages popping up, that sound is very annoying and it gets captured in the video, and it is very hard for me to isolate that sound. So I usually keep that volume very low. And the next thing that I do, go into the properties, and this is the Voicemeeter output. And remember that I told you before that I am rerouting my voice through Voicemeeter. And let me just quickly show you how you can install Voicemeeter. Go to Google and search Voicemeeter, and usually this is the first link, and you can go to the Voicemeeter, and it has some variants as well. Some people like to use this variant. It has a lot more option, but I generally tend to go with the simpler version, because I just want to be setting up my voice through this layer of like when you put the video in the edit and you go to the Adobe Audition and do your fixes to like normalize your sound or edit the sound, it is just one simple layer of audio fixes, not the fixes. It is just one simple layer of audio compression, what I would say. So when you open up Voicemeeter, it looks like this, and usually what you want to be doing is like setting up your microphone, which I have renamed this to BM800. If I go to the control panel in Windows and click on the sound and go to the recording and go to my microphone, I did rename this by going to like properties and renaming this, and you can see that I did the microphone boost at 12 and the microphone level at 90, and I disabled all of the enhancements, and because the enhancements, they just like mess up your audio and sound, so you want to be disabling all of your enhancement. And after you install the Voicemeeter, you want to be setting up this as your default like output device. So what this software does is like your input device is your microphone, and it just you know takes the input and then like reroute it through here, and then corrects your voice, and then output the voice from your computer to your software, which is in my case OBS and Bandicam. So it is just adding this extra layer of sound effects, or rather I should say that sound compression. So audio engineers can tell you better what this is going, but I do not want to be going up too technical about this. So I am just like adjusting this little dot to move over to this side, up and over to this side. You can go through, and whatever your surroundings are, if it is quiet or louder, or you want to be using like echo in your voice or something else, so you want to be playing with this and you want to be hearing the sound in your headphones. You can do this by selecting your microphone first, and then your A1, which is your audio output. You can choose it. After like you can choose your speakerphone, these USB PNP audio headphones, which are these that I am wearing right now. So you can use the output device and hear your audio, whatever you say is here, and into your headphones or your speakers, so you can hear what this dot is doing. So generally it just adds a layer of compression to your audio, and after that you need to like close it, and you have to tell OBS in your properties to use the Voicemeeter output. Remember, this Voicemeeter output to, so you have to set this and click on OK. The next thing that I set up are the filters. Filters are usually, they generally tend to like remove noise and do some extra compression or noise suppression. I usually do noise gate first, and then the gain, and then noise suppression, and then the compressor. You have to like put them in order, and you can search the Google and do some research on these. I do not want to be too technical in this video, because you can just put the settings, like just copy and paste the settings and see if they works or not. And maybe in the future I will like make a detailed video on these settings. For now I am just going to click on OK. So these are the settings that I usually do for my OBS studio setup for the recording, and this message just popped up, so I should be taking a quick 20-second break. And by the way, this program that I use to take quick breaks is the Stretchly, and this is a simple software as well. You can download it from the internet for free. By the way, just one quick tip, you have to go to the settings, and you have to select the Voicemeeter output and not the BM800 microphone, because this was the output that filters my audio, and click on OK.